Hello and welcome to Cricket Media. And today I have a very special friend of mine with me, somebody who knows so much about the sport, and I'm so glad to introduce him to all of you. His name is Anirudh Naveen, and I'm glad that he's there on my channel today to discuss cricket in general. We don't have any sort of agenda for this video, it's just to discuss cricket in general because he's somebody who knows the sport so very well in his own way, and it's going to be very interesting, I promise all of you. So, Anirudh, the first cricketing question that I want to ask you is, Faf du Plessis, the South African batsman, in one interview said that he sees that cricket is moving towards the franchise part of the game. More like the football Premier League stuff. It's no more country versus country. The more importance is shifting towards the franchise game, the CPL, the IPL, the BPL. You have this Abu Dhabi T10 league going on as well. So do you agree with his viewpoint, or do you feel no, international cricket is pretty secure and it has a lot of importance in today's game?
Okay, firstly, Manan, thank you so much. I think you're being very kind with your words. Honestly, getting to learn a lot from you also through these conversations. About this question that you raised, I think it's a very pertinent thing that today, when we look at the sport of cricket, there is a sea change compared to what it was earlier, compared to what it was 30 years, 40 years back. And if we go to see, it is what Faf du Plessis has said is completely right. It's correct. There is a change. There are so many the formats are getting condensed over a period of time, and this is a reality. Now, to judge whether it's good or bad depends on which vantage point you're looking at it from. So, for instance, I look like there are certain people who are very disillusioned. Like there is a scholar called Ramachandra Guha who has written this book called Commonwealth of Cricket. Recently, I read that. And in that, he's expressed his disdain for all these IPL, everything that is to do with commercial, all these commercial ventures that are starting off with related to sport. Rather, it's like if we see the Ranji Trophy has just started after 2 years. Yeah. So for 2 years, the Ranji Trophy was not played. And this has created a lot of, people are very disillusioned. They're not happy about it, especially those who have seen cricket evolve and who have seen players evolve through the Ranji Trophy. And now that they're seeing players evolve through one or two performances, like Venkatesh Iyer plays a couple of good games for KKR and he's promoted, he gets to play for India within 6 months. So naturally, there is a certain section of the society that is not really happy with the progress that is being made in these commercial leagues and all that. So if we look at it holistically, but like if for instance Harsha Bhogle is one of the most sort of prominent faces of this sport. Yeah, exactly. He says, repeatedly that T20 cricket is actually, it is in a way protecting Test cricket. I've heard him say that T20 cricket is protecting Test cricket in a very unique
the modern
fashion.
Savior of our game.
Exactly, it's a savior of the game. It is retaining that interest in the game. To say that, and that is why Harsha Bhogle had raised this point that when we talk of a Test championship, when we force the market to come over and sort of consume a sport that they may not have much interest in, then what we are doing is we are actually making them move away from their from their own liking. So I think it's important that we respect market forces. We are living in a capitalist world. We have to understand that there are certain needs and demands that need to be fulfilled. So if you look at it from that vantage point, then of course it is something that we have to accept and we have to move on with it. And I don't sense that Test cricket is suffering in any way or something, because all the players even today, you are also a cricketer yourself, you will have ambitions. Your biggest ambition will be to play Test cricket for your country. That won't change. I don't think that will ever change. That is the biggest and foremost ambition you have. So, but leagues are something that help you build your character in a very different way. It helps you instill values in you. It builds your character. It makes you, it makes you a competent human being. That's what I
think we should just treat it as a part of a game and sort of go with the flow. It's one part of the game. Like Test cricket is one part of the game. The league cricket is one part of the game. Sort of comparisons and all that stuff is just making everything very ugly. So the next question I want to ask you is, how impressed are you with the current Indian team? We have spoken a lot about this Indian team defeating Australia in Australia without Virat Kohli, which was first of all considered almost impossible. But then Ajinkya Rahane's team did that. When Kohli came back, he did wonderful in England, against England. That was fantastic over there as well. We still have to defeat New Zealand under this sort of side. South Africa was one place where we expected to win and they defeated us. So do you feel we sort of overrate this Indian team many a times, or do you feel cricket is a game where anything can happen and we should accept each and every result as it comes our way?
I think it has taken great strides. The team has taken great strides over the last few years. and especially under Virat Kohli and Ravi Shastri, that in many ways the Indian team has done things that no other Indian side has done, in yesteryears. So if you look at going abroad and playing with that swagger, playing with that confidence, and especially the fast bowling, I think there has been a revolution in fast bowling last few years. I mean, this is something that's unprecedented. There have been like a couple of fast bowlers in the past, like they worked in pairs. For a quartet or for 5 bowlers to emerge and perform consistently in foreign conditions, regardless of the results, across the the Sena countries, these fast bowlers have been very, very prolific. They have been performing extremely well. So that is something that has been revolutionary, and Virat Kohli has been responsible for ushering in this revolution. So we have to acknowledge that fact, that when it comes to fast bowling, when it comes to that passion and that word intensity, I think there has been a lot of change in Indian cricket, a very positive change in Indian cricket. But as you know, when you talk of the time when you and I are speaking today, there is a certain phase of transition going on. There's a lot of flux going on in Indian cricket, and that's something that is behind the results. Of course, it is not affecting Indian results. There is a lot of politics going on. There is a lot of rumors going on, and the point is that it is becoming difficult for cricketers, in my view. I mean, I don't know how, because cricketers will take it the way they have to, but there is so much social media rancor, there is so much discussion, debate about things that are actually trivial. They have no impact on the performance. They should ideally not have an impact on the performance of the team. So that is something that's happening behind the scenes, and that's what the social media world today, wherein rumors and all these petty things, they float around and they get so much traction. That is something that is in some way I'm really not happy about it, because I feel that the players are performing extremely well. The Indian team has taken great strides, has been doing extremely well. Though at times I do feel, Manan, that it is exaggerated also, because when it comes to South Africa and New Zealand, the fact I think this series lost to South Africa will hurt India a lot for some time.
In the way we went over there with so much expectation. I mean, everybody so many favorites.
That is one reason maybe that Virat Kohli decided to call off his career as a captain. Yeah. That is something that may have been a reason, because he was in a way, that was a series that at least India was expected to, if not say 3-0, at least draw one game and win one game. That they were expected to win a series. Yeah. So that was something that one did not expect. So other than that, I think when it comes to they are leading presently in England. They haven't won the series. They make note of that. They are leading in England, and even the victories that they had in England, over there also, if you go to see, it's largely been the bowling. It's been the bowling that has done the bulk of the job. The batting still has a lot of chinks in its armor. I think the batting has...
When we talk about India, I mean, for years people are saying it's batting. But as you said, the bowling has been the transformation in the last few years, and the success, the fast bowling especially. I think Ravi Shastri in one interview said that if you want to be successful outside, your fast bowling group needs to be very, very strong. That's something that can be helpful in each and every condition, each and every country. You partially answered the next question that I was going to ask you. So just a little more clarity on that. Are you happy with this entire Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli debate? On top of that, the fact that captaincy came in the way as well, just not as batsmen, but also as captains of their respective sides. Do you feel the Mumbai Indians RCB thing is being compared to India a lot often than it should be? And is it really healthy for our game?
Look, unless and until you know about things inside out, you can't comment on things, right? It's best to it's best to do what you love the most. That is, watch the sport, enjoy it, enjoy the moments. That is what I like doing. So I do not necessarily read too much into these debates and all these controversies that come up, because I feel that the players have their own ways to resolve them, right? They're human beings. They'll have their differences, and sometimes these differences come into the open. So we saw that with the communication gap between Virat Kohli and Saurav Ganguly and Rohit Sharma, something going on over there. But the fact is, the team is together now. They're playing well, and I think the players have the capacity. They are all experienced players. All of them are into their late 30s now, almost middle 30s, late 30s. This is kind of the last. If you go to see Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, even Rohit Sharma, he's been made captain now. I think it's keeping the 2023 World Cup in mind. So after the World Cup, in 2027, there will be a different captain in all probability, because Rohit Sharma will be touching 40 and Virat Kohli will also be 38, 39. So that will be a time when I think Rohit Sharma has been made captain, keeping in mind someone as a deputy. So someone like Rahul or a Pant or a Bumrah, I think they'll be looking at someone like that to take over. So I don't read much into these controversies. I think the players have that kind of mental stability, mental fortitude to think of the future, and they will not worry too much. Like already, if you see, it has dissipated. There's no talk about it anymore. The performances are speaking for themselves. So that's what will happen.
It looks messy, but the best part is the Indian team is performing well, and that's, I think, most important for all of us, that the Indian team is doing well, despite of all these controversies and all that stuff, and they die down automatically. The next question is not related to Indian cricket and all that stuff. We have talked about that a lot. Let's talk about one of the few rules that we have in our sport, the rule of monketing. How in favor are you of the fact that monketing should be included? It's in the rules. It's, by the way, in the rules. But people say it's not fair play, it looks wacky on TV, it's not ideal, it's unfair to the batsman. Are you in favor of monketing, or first of all, do you want to call it monketing, or do you want to call it a run out?
It's a run out at the striker's end, or at the bowler's end, right? That's what I'd like to call it, because I think it's a Western thing to always take up an Indian name and to try to denigrate it. Vinu Mankad is one of the greats of Indian cricket, and to reduce him to just a name that is kind of derogatory also, it has acquired a derogatory connotation over time. But it's something that I at least feel is completely sound. There is no issue with running someone when that person has taken an extra. He's gained an advantage basically, and that run that should have been completed, you should have run that 22 yards. He's in a way shortened that distance, and that is not in the spirit of the game, in my view. I mean, it should ideally be like if you go to see the history of the game also, like if we trace the history back from the 18th 19th century and after that, cricket has been a game that has been extremely batsman centric, right? And that is where the problem has arisen. Even Indian cricket for the longest time has been batsman centric. It has been batting has been the focus, has been the pivot around which the whole team has shaped. And today we see a change wherein we see the bowlers who are going and winning on their own. They are winning because team is winning because of the bowlers performing extremely well. Of course, both units come together. It's a very holistic thing. But still, today we see that the bowlers are able to assert themselves better. And the fact is that I think mankading, or I don't agree with that term, but I think that it is very much in the rules of the game. I don't think the spirit of the game is something that is very, very abstract. If it's concretized somewhere, I would like to believe it, but otherwise, I think it's okay.
Fine, absolutely. As you said, the spirit of the game is violated by the non-striker gaining advantage. It's not the bowler. That's very true. I completely agree with that. Even my views are the same on this topic. In fact, I did a project recently on this entire topic, trying to shift the entire focus from monketing to run out. It's a run out, it's a normal run out, and the non-striker batter is gaining advantage, and that's unfair. And the bowler has complete right to get him out. Enjoy this cricketing fun, do like, share and comment. And do subscribe the channel and press the notification bell for my further videos.